guys, it's Marissa, and today's video is going to be a story time of the time I performed in the Disneyland parade, and it all went wrong for me. It all went downhill with a little costume malfunction. So yeah, that's what we're going to be talking about today. I can't remember if I've ever told you guys this story, but I like it. It's a good story. It's actually more like a Christmassy story, and I know that like Christmas is over, but I feel like even though it's like a holiday, like it was like holiday time of year that it happened, I feel like I can really tell the story anytime and it'll be fine. So what actually made me think of this story is actually this perfume, the Juicy Couture Viva La Juicy Noir, and I feel like scents have the power to kind of evoke like memories. Like you smell something and you're like, oh, I'm right back there, like right back where it all happened. And I feel like back in the like high school performing in the Disneyland parade era, everyone, you know, every girl was like obsessed with Juicy Couture, and everyone had this perfume and wanted this perfume, and this perfume was like a big thing. So before we get into the full story time, I wanted to show you guys a few of my new fragrances from Scentbird. So Scentbird is a fragrance subscription where you can try out different designer scents. They have over 600 scents to choose from for only $15 a month. So you pick which scent you want to try each month so that there's no surprises, and you actually get a 30-day supply of each month's perfume, which I really love because you can try it out before committing to an entire bottle of something. And also, I'm somebody like, I get really sick of wearing the same perfume day in, day out. Like, I want to like switch it up, keep things new, keep things exciting, keep things fresh. So I like being able to try out something new every month. So the fragrances I picked out this month are Juicy Couture Viva La Juicy Noir, as you guys know, the scent that sparked it all. And I also got the rose scent of the Juicy Couture too. I got Philosophy Amazing Grace Bergamot. I got Versace Bright Crystal, and I also got Skylar Salt Air. And you can also upgrade if you would prefer 2 to 3 products a month. So if you're like me and you just bathe yourself in perfume, you can upgrade for more. So I will have a coupon code linked below for you guys so you guys can get 30% off your first month. So it's only $10. And if you guys want to take the quiz, I will link that below too. It's kind of fun too, just to like take a quiz and see, ooh, what scent am I? And they also have an app which is super convenient, so you guys can download that too. I'll link it below. And thank you so much to Scentbird for supporting this video. Okay, and back to the story time. So basically, this story happened many years ago. I was in high school on a dance team, and every year we would get invited to perform in the Disneyland parade, and tons of schools from like all over the state would come, and everybody would gather, and we would all learn the same routine like independently at our schools, and we would all come together and they'd kind of like smush us, line us up. We would like audition for who got to be like in the front, in the middle, who got to be like, which schools got to like dance next to like Mickey and Donald and Goofy and all that stuff, and then we would perform in the parade. And it was always really fun, and I loved it because we would always get to like go in early and enjoy the parks, and you know, we would get there super early, enjoy the parks all day, and then like in the evening we would kind of check in, go to the rehearsals, do the parade, and then pretty much stay like until midnight. Every school would like put together their own costumes, you know, just to kind of unify, okay, this is this team, this is this team, this team's wearing red, this team's wearing blue. And so our team, we had these like red leotards that we wore for the performance with just our regular like dance pants, but we also had these battery packs. I think we got them at like the dollar store or Target or something. They were very cheap. We had these like little battery packs, and they had this little string of lights that was like a couple feet long, and we basically used them as belts. And these were not belts. They weren't designed for belts. I don't think they were ever made to be belts. but that's what we use them for. So basically, what we needed was pants, jazz pants, dance pants, whatever you want to call them, that were long enough, that had a flap, like, you know, pants where you flip them over and there's like a, kind of like a belt. You know what I'm talking about? Now, I had pants that had a little one, but me, being the cheapskate that I am, didn't want to spend the like $20 or whatever it would have costed to actually, or maybe I just didn't have the $20. I don't know what the reason was, but for some reason thought, okay, I can just make do with my pants. I don't need to actually go get good pants like everybody else. As we really didn't practice much with our costumes. It was mainly just we would practice the routine and, you know, do it in front of the mirror. The routine itself was, I still remember the entire routine too. Man, imagine if I just did it for you guys. It was to the Jessica Simpson song, Let It Snow, Let It Snow, Let It Snow. And it was all like sassy. It was like, and the weather outside is frightful, but the fire is so delightful. And it was this whole like long little dance. It's funny because whenever I actually went to Disneyland, like obviously not this year, but about a year ago for the holiday parade, and they actually had the same song, and I recognized they obviously had new dancers and dance teams doing it, and they use a lot of the same moves. So every year I'm thinking they just must tweak the routines slightly to be like, you know, instead of like up here, we'll do like here. Like they just tweak them slightly, but it's like the same thing every year. So that was the number we were dancing to. And we had these giant snowflakes on our hands. They were these giant snowflakes that you'd put on your hands. And they were honestly kind of annoying because they were very scratchy. And so like the glitter would just get like stuck to you. Like they were the kind of snowflakes where it's like, if you touch it against anything, there's gonna be glitter all over it. It's gonna be a glitter bomb. So the best way that I could describe it is this little snowflake ornament. It's like covered in glitter, but a big, you know, probably like 5 times the size of this and stuck on your hand. Like that's like, envision it. Those were our costumes, just to give you guys a visual. And for some reason, I don't really have many photos of me in costume, but I do have like 2 photos of my dance team on, you know, at Disneyland, like me at Disneyland that day. So I'll include those below just to give you guys a visual, me and my little dance team outfit. So now that I've given you guys like pretty much the lay of the land, like what the routine was like, costume, all that stuff, how it worked, cut to the day of the parade. And you know, we get there really early, everything's good, we spend the whole day at the parks. I remember like the lines were really long, and for some reason I don't recall us ever getting fast passes for any rides. And I'm thinking to myself, like, why didn't we do that? That was so stupid. But anyway, we went on all the rides, we went on Indiana Jones, we went to the Tiki Room, we like did all this stuff, and we went to the rehearsals, we like auditioned, or not auditioned, like we're already there, but like we, you know, got our spots, got our lineups, all that stuff. We're putting our costumes together, and this was probably like, I don't know, like the 2nd or 3rd time I had actually tried on the battery pack. And before, it really wasn't a big deal because I wasn't really like dancing in it. I was just, you know, putting it on, tucking it under, and it was definitely difficult putting it on because we had to pin all of our battery packs all around our outfits. And my flap was like, it only covered like half the battery pack. So I really had to like dig deep, like pull up my pants, really like make that extra room. You know, I made it work. I pinned it all up, I secured it really tight, as tightly as I could, you know, showtime, everybody's getting ready, everybody's getting all excited. When you're performing in the Disneyland Parade, you get to go through all the backstage areas and like all the little, they have all these little like navigation routes and where the parade starts and where it ends, and it's kind of cool just like getting to like do the backstage stuff. So we start the parade and you know, everything's going good. And probably like within the first, and this is like a 30-ish, 30 to 40 minute parade, I would say. Like that's usually how long the parades are. But I would say probably within the first 5 minutes, my battery pack like gets undone. The big, you know, the big heavy part, which is the main part, gets undone from my pins and falls to the ground. Not to the ground, but falls like a few inches from the ground and just starts swinging as I'm trying to dance. And I like realize this and I'm like, oh darn it. Okay, like I'm trying to like pin it back in. I'm trying to, and this is all while a parade's going on. And I'm just like this unhappy, like, freaking out about my costume, trying to get it together, trying to like pin it back in. It wasn't working. I was trying to tuck it in. That didn't work because it was so heavy. It was just like sinking. I don't know why, but for some reason, this was just the most nightmarish costume ever. I feel like in retrospect, I wish I had just like tried my hardest to rip it off. I think I actually did try and rip it off, but the problem was I had so many safety pins in this darn light up pack that wasn't even a belt, but we were using them as belts. I had so many safety pins in, it was impossible. I remember like probably 10-15 minutes into I love how I'm just still like pretending I'm dancing. 10-15 minutes into the parade, like this cast member came up and she's like, do you need help? And I'm like, yes, I need help. I was like crying, I was panicking, it was not good. It was not good. And so she's trying to help me and she can't get it to work, and she just kind of like gave up. She's like, I'm sorry, I don't know how to help you. And I was so bummed because I was thinking, oh great, like she's gonna help me with my thing, because there's cast members that are like, I guess they're there to like just walk alongside the parade and make sure everything's going good. And everything was not going good for me. And it's funny because after the parade, so basically the whole entirety of the parade was, I was crying, there was snot going down my face, people were taking photos. Like I remember like kids and adults like just like looking at me like, what is that girl doing? What is that poor lost soul doing in the parade? Like looking at me like I was an alien from outer space just because I was so out of place in the parade. Just like, because it was just like as the parade went on, like I couldn't get happy. Like it was just like, imagine like tears crying, but like a big fake plastered smile, like that was me essentially. And I remember after the parade, my dance teacher was like, Marissa was a hot mess. Like everyone felt bad. Everybody knew that like I like messed up our entire section of the parade. Cause I was just, the whole time I was just literally stumbling over myself, letting the battery pack hang out. And the thing is, it just would have taken too much time to like undo every pin from my costume. And also the fact that we're moving, we're dancing, we're not just staying in one spot, staying still, it made it so difficult. And everybody knew like on my dance team that my battery pack had fallen out, but like nobody else's battery pack had fallen out because they all had like better pants than me. And I'm just like, oh, why man? Why didn't I just get, And I think it was, okay, I think I can actually pinpoint why I got the bad pants. I think the like right pants at Target were like $35 and the bad pants with the little thing were like $15. So me thinking, oh, I'm gonna save some money, it's gonna be fine, I'm gonna use it, I'll just make do, that extra fabric, I'll just fold it over a bit more. You know, that was my rationale. And I think in retrospect, like it seemed like a decent idea. Like, okay, just fold it over a little more, the strap's a little short. But what I didn't realize was that it was all gonna crumble. But I remember afterwards, like I was just so sad. I was so sad for a while, but you know, spending the last few hours in the Disneyland park helped me get happy again. I remember the last ride of the night, we went on Space Mountain, and so I was like, come on, how can you have a bad day after going on Space Mountain? I was still sad, and then we got hot chocolate on the way home, so Space Mountain and hot chocolate makes for a pretty good, a pretty good redeeming end of the day. But I just remember thinking to myself, gosh, if I ever like perform anywhere, doing anything like that, I am gonna try on that costume. I'm gonna dance in it 15,000 times to make sure there's no costume malfunctions. Cause that was probably the biggest thing, was like I hadn't practiced in the costume. I just kind of took it for granted, like, yeah, it'll be fine. Like I had tried it on, but I hadn't actually like done the dancing in it. And it was very like, it's very like kick, step, ball change. Like it's very like movie. You're constantly like, ooh, jiggling back and forth. So yeah, so that was my crazy Disneyland story time. Hopefully you guys liked this video. I hope it was interesting to you if you've ever wondered about the Disneyland parade or anything like that. I always think that the like whole Disneyland cast member stories are so interesting about like, ooh, how does this work? How does that work? So yeah, I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys.